Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7th round of Oz Racing, the Canadian Grand Prix. This is Q1 and it's dry, so naturally we're going out on the intermediate compound. Webb from our teammate demotes us to P17, so it becomes necessary all of a sudden to burn a set of ultra softs and get ourselves out of that drop zone and up into the top 16. Several seconds up on our delta there, and P4 we slide into, very safe at that point. By the end of the session, it's P6, Niblo, the debutant for Mana, up on the first step, Webb form second, Andy third, but obviously these are all bankers, and a couple of drivers were eliminated. V-Fingers with an early banker on super softs. These were of course our starting tyres in Q2, so everyone out on the red striped tyres pretty much. And by the end of the session, we are through once again, but we had some disconnections, so we had to start all over again in what became the longest time between starting for the first time, as you see here at the disconnection, and actually starting the league race itself, some 2 hours. Once again, we started at the lobby, this time a short qualifying due to the time restrictions, but more disconnections occurred, so we gave up on this one and had a bit of banter in the meantime. Sauber will not be happy with Webform and I there, and they have a brief discussion with us before they send us back out for the next qualifying session, which finally was the one that spawned into the actual race.
Fantastic. That was the fastest lap.
But that would not last. V-Fingers taking pole, Wimpinator and Honest Crook slotting in between us on ultra softs, and Danielson right behind us. That wouldn't be too bad though. Canada's never been one of my strong tracks, so this will be damage limitation to my championship rival, the highest driver of V-Fingers. Lights are on, and out. Whoa, Danielson's already come past us. This looks like we've had the lights glitch once again. Waffles and Bits has got a rocket start. We found out later that he was boosted into that by Bozza, who got the glitch start as well. So Waffles has made several positions, 7th up into 2nd I believe. Honest Crook's still on our left there. We've actually lost a position in this melee, but the Red Bull driver has gone a little bit deep under brakes there, and we've slid around the outside of that opening chicane, back into our starting position of 4th. Wimpinator in the Force India was a very difficult driver to dispatch of. We got down the inside of the hairpin, but he tried a nice over and under. And if I can get a word in from Jeff interrupting me, you can see the Force India coming back past, with what seemed to be a little bit less downforce than I had. We both have DRS, but he's still pulled quite a margin on us down that straight. He's made a slight error there at the chicane. We might have a run here, but here's a more graphic demonstration of that downforce difference, and possibly also the difference in rubber, as of course he's still running the ultra soft from qualifying, and we're unable to make a manoeuvre on this 4th lap. We'll move on to lap 6 into the hairpin once again. We'll stick our nose down the inside. He leaves us some space. Very fair driver from what I've seen. Once again he got some good traction on the outside line. This time we'll have DRS, and he does have DRS, surprisingly. He came across us there rather dangerously, but if he judges that correctly, then I'm not going to put any blame on him for what would have happened. Oh, he's disconnected. Perhaps that was the reason for that swipe. Anyhow, we move on. We're in P3, and now Waffles is our next target, and fairly easily dispatched of once we caught him. Alright, he said himself he was out of position, but I don't think he was. I think he drove very well and ended up in P3. We pit at the end of lap 15, as did V-Fingers. Boz is having a lot of trouble, possibly with a barbecue there ahead of Australia Day. And by the end of the race, it's a simple come to the line, pick up your 18 points, and escape with just a 7-point deficit to V-Fingers from this race, and a 20-point gap in the championship isn't so bad. Fingers and I, of course, the only drivers not to get penalties there in what was a very difficult race to not cut corners. Next time is Azerbaijan. See you guys then.